A Western armada has descended on the Black Sea. They're testing one man's resolve and patience, Russian President Vladimir Putin. These are the largest war games in decades. They're calling it Sea Breeze 2021. As far as names go, it's far from perfect. There is nothing breezy or calm about this drill. It's all about sending a stern military message. First, let me give you some background. Sea Breeze is organized by the United States and Ukraine. They've been doing it since 1997, but this year's edition may by far be the biggest. 30 countries are participating, 5,000 soldiers, 18 special forces, 32 ships and 40 aircraft. That's a lot of firepower to park in a volatile sea. America pays for Sea Breeze and Ukraine hosts it. That is the arrangement. Until 2014, it was a routine military drill. But after Russia annexed Crimea, the dynamic changed. The stakes were a lot higher. Sea Breeze became a show of force against Russia. And this edition takes it to another level. Land, sea and airborne exercises have been planned. They will continue through July 10th. The objective is to bring Ukraine up to speed. In 2014, Russia barely broke a sweat invading Crimea. The two countries and their militaries were a clear mismatch. Sea Breeze attempts to bridge this gap to show that Ukraine is not alone anymore. But there's a flip side to this drill, and that's a Russian backlash. Moscow will be watching these exercises closely, and it won't like what it sees, a hostile armada sailing in neighboring waters. Just last week, Russia in fact fired warning shots in the Crimean Sea. They accused a British warship of violating their borders. So both sides are flexing their muscle. Stuck in the middle is Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky wants to join NATO. It's the only way he can protect his eastern border. But why is NATO hesitating? Admitting Ukraine would be a Cold War declaration. It's the red line for President Putin. So for both sides, this is a delicate choice. The other option is talks, but the Russian president believes that meeting Zelensky is pointless. This is what he said today.
Why should I meet with Zelensky when he has given up his country to full external control? Vital issues for Ukraine are not resolved in Kyiv, but in Washington and partly in Berlin and Paris. What is there to discuss? However, I don't refute meetings like that. We only need to understand what to discuss.
Nobody's questioning Putin's appetite or his intent. But what is his assessment about the Black Sea? What happens next in this conflict? The Russian president has made one thing clear. Sailing in Crimean waters is a provocation. And next time, it won't be warning shots. Moscow is threatening to sink hostile vessels near Crimea. Now, for most countries, this would be a declaration of war. But President Putin does not see it that way. He believes that Russia has enough firepower to deter its rivals.
You have said that the world was on the verge of the World War. Of course not. Even if we had sunk the British destroyer near Crimea, it is unlikely that the world would have been on the verge of World War III. Those who do it know that they cannot emerge the winners of this war.
That confidence should worry America and its allies. It's one thing to wage a Cold War, but sinking ships? There is no coming back from that. Russia has already drawn the battle lines and Ukraine is on the other side. So where do things go from here? It's a question of who blinks first. Earlier this year in eastern Ukraine, it was Russia. After weeks of troop build-up, they retreated. Was that a dress rehearsal? Or is it the new Russian strategy, keeping the West on its toes, never attacking, but always threatening? And if that is the Russian strategy, how will the West respond? How long can they delay Ukraine's NATO entry? So many war games, so much military posturing. What happened to good old diplomacy? Europe is still refusing to talk to Putin. And the Russian president does not want to meet Zelensky. So both sides are left guessing, placing dangerous wagers on what could happen next. Add some nuclear bombs to the equation, and you have a full-blown crisis. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.